Hello, my guys. Welcome to another episode of the Microwave Cakes. The transfer window, as usual, we know what's going on. Clubs are signing. Chelsea are signing. Arsenal, Manchester United, Liverpool. Every club right now are signing. And let's talk about Chelsea. The thing with the Chelsea signings now is Chelsea are signing players for strategic positions. Now we know there are some players that actually needs to go. For those players who are actually coming in to have a very good transition into the team and everything. Because once you have an unhappy player in your team, then the player has to leave because already Chelsea are signing players for replacement already. Chelsea already sold the likes of Madueke. Chelsea already sold the likes of Petrovic. Chelsea already sold some players already, while some players are already starting to go on loan already. So today we are going to talk about the list of players that Chelsea will be letting go, this summer, either on loan or permanent buy. All right. I've actually listed out 10 names I think Chelsea will actually let go. Now, these guys are not for the fact that they are not good, but I think that these guys will not have enough playing time. I think if they go elsewhere, that's where they will get enough playing time. That's where they will see matches to play and everything. That's where they'll get enough minutes. But I think their time in Chelsea might be up or might not be, starting at this point. Now, I'm going to list out these names, but before I go ahead with that, if you're new to this channel, please hit the like button. Please subscribe to my channel. Join this family. Let's grow together. Let's become a very, very big community, right here on YouTube. So let's start up let's start up now. Let's talk about the first player, all right, who I think would actually leave Chelsea this summer. The first person I think is Carney Chukwuemeka. Yes, we know that this guy has not really had enough time in this team. This guy, he was ravaged with injuries. He came from Aston Villa. He has not really gotten enough playing time. He has not really staked his claim in this team. He has not really shown what he's worth. I think under Maresca, he has not even really, played enough games. I think he played just quite a handful of games in the Conference League and all of that. So he has not really show what he's worth. I think the injuries has been so unlucky. So I think he's going to leave. RB Leipzig right now at the club interested in signing him from Chelsea. Initially, it was Dortmund. He was on loan at Dortmund last season, and Dortmund does not have the funds to keep him. So I think he's the player that is going to leave. One of the players, in fact, the first name on the list that is going to leave Chelsea on a permanent deal, because this time around, Chelsea are willing to raise enough amount of money, and so many players are going to leave. Chelsea can raise up to 500 million this summer because of the amount of player Chelsea have, right now on their books. The players are so much. Players that even went on loan last season, most of them has to leave on a permanent buy. So Carney Chukwuemeka, I wish you good luck in anywhere you're going to go. I think he's going to do well in Germany because it's a slower league. But I think with what he did last season, I think he still have to integrate himself into the Leipzig, and it will be easier if Carney Chukwuemeka and Xavi Simons, it's a swap deal and Chelsea add up enough funds and get the deal done. So I think Carney should leave. Secondly is Sterling. Raheem Sterling has not really showed what he's worth in his Chelsea colors, because of we know how Sterling was in Liverpool back in the days. We know how Sterling played with Manchester City. So I think Sterling needs to go. Last season he was loaned out to Arsenal, but Arsenal, he didn't really show himself there. He didn't really perform well. Even when he went there, he said he wants to be the best, he wants to show what he's worth and everything, but at the end of the day, he wasn't able to, show anything. He wasn't able to prove anything. Even when Arsenal had so many injury problems last season, Sterling was not able to affect the team. It was just like a passenger in that team, and he has not played under Maresca before. In this last season and this season, unlike after the preseason, that was when Maresca said, "Man, you have to, leave," and he's on very high wages also. So the sporting directors and the owners want him out, and he knows Bayer Leverkusen are interested. Some other clubs in the Premier League are also interested, but he wants a Champions League club. At this point, it will be very difficult for you to get a Champions League club in the Premier League. So probably he has to go abroad, or if he wants to stay in the Premier League, I don't think Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool, Manchester City, Tottenham Hotspur, or any of those clubs will want him to come, to the club. But let that being said, he has to leave Chelsea on a permanent buy, on a permanent deal, if he really wants to, get game time. Now let's move on. Christopher Nkunku. that's another player that will leave Chelsea, definitely, because he has not really worked out for him in Chelsea. He came all the way from Leipzig, and since he's been at Chelsea, he's been from one injury to another. And this season, that he has not really been ravaged with so much injury, he has not really gotten game time. He has not really proved what he's worth. Yes, he's a very good player. He played so well at Leipzig. Bayern Munich are interested. Manchester United were interested in January. But that being said, he has not really showed what he was bought for. He was bought for a whooping 52, 54 million pounds. And these are one of the first signings of this new ownership, and he has not really shown what he's really worth. He has not really performed very well. He doesn't press. He doesn't suit the Maresca style. Maresca find it very difficult to actually place him in a particular, in a particular position, because he doesn't give his all. I don't really understand if you guys understand what I'm saying. Like, he's not suited for the Maresca style. So let me just put it like that. But this Club World Cup, he did well. He got some minutes, but I think all the same, Chelsea are just playing him, giving him those minutes to boost his resale value. And at the end of the day, he's going to go. At the end, in January, Chelsea were quoted 60 million for him, but right now Chelsea has actually reduced it to like 43 million pounds for him to leave the club. So let's move on. So at the end of the day, Nkunku is going to leave. Now let's move forward to Renato Veiga. Renato Veiga came all the way from Basel for 12 million pounds thereabouts, and he couldn't wait. He was very, very impatient, because he was playing Conference League, FA Cup, and I think what broke the Camel's back at the time was, I think at the time Cucurella was suspended. He was supposed to play, but Maresca didn't trust him enough to play in the Premier League. He played the FA Cup, he played the Carabao Cup, he played the Conference League, but he forgot to understand that he's still a young player. He needs time to integrate himself into the Premier League. I don't know why. Maybe it's because of the hype or something. He was very, very impatient, and at the end of the day, he left for Juventus. All right, Juventus actually signed him, and he played there for 6 months, and he did well over there in Juventus. Juventus actually wanted to keep him for the Club World Cup and everything, but Chelsea didn't agree because the price was too high for Juve. And now Atletico Madrid were interested, or are interested in signing him. Personal terms have been agreed and everything. And at the end of the day, Atletico actually went to sign Hanko. Why? Because of the price tag for Viega was too much. So that's one of the reasons Viega is here, but he will leave on impermanent. But I think other clubs will come calling, and at the end of the day, he's going to leave Chelsea. Now let's move on to Magu. Magu is another player who came from Barcelona on a 5 million deal, and he's a very, very good, talented forward, very fast, presses well, does well. He's not going to leave on a permanent deal. Chelsea wants to loan him to an English club in the Championship. Probably if he goes to the Championship, he will be able to integrate himself into proper English football. He'll be able to learn how it is physically and everything here in English football. I think he still have a lot to learn. I think he's still a young player who needs a lot of game time to showcase what he's worth. He needs a lot of game time to show that he belongs to this level of football. He's still a young player, so he has time to develop and everything. So I think Magu is going to go on loan. So I think a loan deal would be a better deal for Magu. Now let's talk about Ben Chuwell. That's another player that will leave Chelsea. Ben Chuwell came all the way from Leicester City. He has been ravaged with injury after his first 2 seasons. Ben Chilwell wasn't the Ben Chilwell we used to know back then in Leicester City. It has been from one injury to another, from one injury to another, from one injury. So he has not really showed what he's worth. So when Cucurella came, he was relegated to the bench at that time. Then still injured. Then he had to go on loan last season to Crystal Palace. The previous last season, that was in January, to Crystal Palace. The first half of the season, he wasn't able to find the club. So he went on loan to Crystal Palace. He did well at Crystal Palace. They won the FA Cup. Very, very good performance from him, to the team. It brought experience into the Crystal Palace team. But Maresca doesn't find him suitable enough for his style. I understand. Yes, everybody cannot suit the Maresca style. So I understand that for a fact. So he had to go on loan, and now he needs to go on a permanent buy. He needs to go on a permanent sale. Chelsea needs to sell him permanently so that it's good, give up space for the likes of Hato and other players who are coming on. Now, all these list of players are the list of players that are on exorbitant wages. Not just all. I mean, most of them are on exorbitant wages. And if Chelsea are able to sell these players, it will free up enough space, for the wage bill and the wage structure and everything. So I think these players are surplus to requirement at this point, and they most of them have to go. So Ben Chilwell needs to find a new club, a permanent place where he would play football, not just on loan. So I think he needs to go as well. The next player is Ugo. Ugochukwu went on loan to Southampton last season, and at Southampton he got relegated at Southampton, and also he was bought from Rennes, I think for 25 million, but he wasn't able to like play into the Maresca box, play into the Maresca style of play and everything. So he needed a loan, he needed loan time because Chelsea had the likes of Lavia coming into the season, Caicedo, Enzo, Drosby all were just bought at the time. Even when Gallagher left, Chelsea still had players, in midfield that would be too much for Ugochukwu to stay. So he had to go. Now he had to go get game time, and he went to Southampton. And at Southampton, he got relegated. So he needs to go because right now we have Sugo, we have Santos, we have Lavia, we have Caicedo, we have Enzo. So there are too many players right now on the books, too many midfielders. He did well during the preseason. He did well in the I think the second preseason against Inter Milan at Stamford Bridge. So yeah, he's not going to get game time, whether we like it or not. So he needs to go on a permanent fee, on a permanent buy. So Chelsea needs to let him leave permanently. Chelsea needs to sell him. Another player is Felix. Joao Felix came all the way from Atletico Madrid after the exchange or the sale of Gallagher to Atletico, then Felix to Chelsea. He came with so much expectation. Why? Because he has been at Chelsea before for 6 months, and he, did averagely well. Now he came back to Chelsea on a permanent buy. I really have no idea why Chelsea bought him from Atletico, because trust me, we didn't really need him at the time, but still, he was supposed to be Kopama's competitor, but Kopama's are heads and shoulders above him. This is the same guy that went to Barcelona, and Barcelona didn't really want to pay. It didn't really work out. Let me just be brutal. It didn't really work out at Barcelona, So he also, after 6 months in Chelsea, he went to AC Milan. The first game he scored, then after them, he went silent. So he didn't work out at AC Milan as well. So Felix has been on a downward trajectory since he left Benfica. Since he left Benfica, he hasn't really been, for that whooping 120 million to Atletico. So Atletico recoup 50 something million for him with Chelsea. Right now, Benfica are interested in buying him from Chelsea. And Chelsea wants a whooping, I think 30, 40 million. I think that Chelsea are not going to get that for him. But if Chelsea could do anything within 30, 35 million, I think is a good deal. You know, I think is a good deal. So that being said, I think Joao Felix needs to go. He needs to go to Benfica and get playing time. So he needs to live on a permanent deal as well. Because right now Chelsea are going to sign Xavi Simons. So if he comes back, Joao Felix, there will be no space for him in the squad. And let you guys know that most players who are coming back to Chelsea, who have actually gone on loan and coming back to Chelsea, are not going to be in the team. Another player is Broja. Broja needs to go. Broja needs to leave Chelsea. Injuries upon injuries upon injuries. He hasn't been lucky at all. He needs to leave Chelsea, because of how it's been with him. There's been no chance for him being in the proper number 9. He went to Everton, ravaged with injuries also at Everton. He didn't work out at Everton. So he needs to find a permanent home. He needs to find a permanent place. So Broja needs to go because he's not the player. He's not on that Chelsea's level at this point. Yes, he came from the academy, but he's not on Chelsea's level at this point. Disasi needs to leave. Villarreal are interested in signing Disasi. Disasi needs to go. Disasi went on loan to Aston Villa. Yes, he did well there. Aston Villa could not pay what Chelsea are asking. Chelsea are asking for, I think, 40 million, there about 30 something, 40 million. They don't want to pay. Now, Villarreal are the only club interested now, but they want him on loan. But Chelsea want a permanent sale instead. So he also needs to go. Disasi needs to leave Chelsea on a permanent deal. Now, also, let's not forget, some players actually came to Chelsea, and I don't think they're on the level yet. I think they need to go get enough game time to understand European markets. The person I'm talking about is Anselmino. He came all the way from the Argentina league, I think from Boca Juniors or so, and he hasn't really played. He played one match in Club World Cup, but he needs time to understand European football. He needs time to understand how it's been done over here in this continent. So I think he has to go get game time. He has to go on loan. He has to go get game time, and Semino needs to go get game time, not permanent sale, but game time on loan. Ishe Samuel Smith needs to live on loan or on a permanent buy, because there are talks right now that Ajax, this club, are interested in signing Ishe Samuel Smith, who came from the Chelsea academy. So now he also needs to go get game time, either a permanent buy or on loan. So Ishe Samuel Smith, who is, according to the directors, is not on the level to compete with Cucurella at this point. So he needs to go, needs to go get, enough game time. Now, also, let's keep an eye, on Drewsby Hall. Drewsby Hall might leave. Fulham are interested in signing Drewsby Hall. He came, he did well. He did well in his first season. He wasn't that bad. Anytime he's been called upon, he comes into the team and he does well. He comes into the team and he gives his all. He showed what he's capable of doing. He lets people know that this is what I'm good at. He scores goals, he makes assists. He did well during the course of the Conference League. Even the Club World Cup, he also scored. So just be all keep an eye on him. He might leave, he might stay. Fulham are interested in signing him. Nicolas Jackson also is another player we should also keep an eye on. I'm done with the 10 names, so I'm just giving you 3 names you should keep an eye on now. Jackson, keep an eye on Jackson. Jackson could leave. All right. Jackson at the end of the season, because they might drag up to the last part of the season, So you should also keep an eye on Jackson, because Manchester United are interested, Aston Villa, Juventus, Atletico, those guys are interested in signing Jackson. So let's wait for Jackson to the end of the summer. To me, I don't want Jackson to leave. I need competition up front. I need the best of the best up front. When there's competition, you get the best out of players. So I want Jackson to stay, but keep an eye on Jackson. Also, keep an eye on Chalobah. Every season, Chelsea are always, I don't know what the directors want, but the directors are always putting Chalobah on the market. Please, I don't want Chalobah to leave Chelsea. I think he can be a very, very good defender. Even a squad player, he doesn't complain nothing. When he's given the opportunity to play, he plays. So please, I don't want these directors to let him go, but keep an eye on Drewsby Hall, Jackson, and Chalobah. Those are the players I think can leave Chelsea also this summer. But after selling Madueke and Petrovic, these are the names I think might actually leave Chelsea. There might be other names I've not actually talked, or I've not I missed, or I've not spoken about. Please share your thoughts in the comment. Let me know which name do we still have, or which name I have not actually added to this list. Let me know in the comments. If you are new to this channel, please join this family, hit the like button. We talk about Chelsea, we talk about football, we talk about other clubs as well, we talk about trending stories, we talk about transfer news, we talk everything football, and I always reply comments in my comment section. So please share your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to hit this like button, share this video. Let me know who you want your club to sign in this summer. Who do you want Chelsea to sign this summer? Until I come your way again next time, I remain your boy Mike Way. Stay cool.